Hey everyone, and welcome back to Drive on Moscow. Last turn we managed to seal a bunch of pockets and push the Soviets back. The victory points are slowly swinging in our favor. We captured Rizhev, which I was honestly really surprised by. Normally I have to encircle that place and it becomes a bloodbath, and historically it was too. So capturing Rizhev puts us in a really good place, and puts Kalinin in our sights as well. What we need to do is capture Bryansk this turn though, because it's a pretty good plus one, and to capture it early means we get more points, it'll become more valuable than any of these points. Which of course means we'll have to hold it to the last when the Soviet attacks start, because it will be very important, and we'll lose all the points if we lose it. As far as supply, you can see the pockets in the rear. From right here, our boys are supplied, theirs aren't. They're about to start bleeding. Over here I know they have. They're losing a lot of supply. They're losing a lot of men due to not be having any supplies or food. We're about to proceed with crushing those pockets about probably 2 or 3 turns once the mud sets in. Once the mud sets in, I'm going to be about here-ish. Able to push slowly on muscle. Got 2 more turns of no mud. Those are on the southern flank. We've got the loot off a bit of production, and there's more history stuff which you guys need to buy that because it's cool. And the history lesson. So we've lost the Narashenko and Lgov, so the eastern offensive is more or less gonna be put on hold for a big, or the southern offensive is more or less put on hold for a big northern push, and probably some cleanup duty at some point. If we have time. First thing we're going to do is probably disable the 5th Army's ability to move anywhere, because screw those guys. This will also leave them pretty unable to counterattack anything over here, as with the 5th Army pinned down, they won't be able to hit Tula or Yukonovka. It also firmly cements Suhinichi as a place that we got. I'll try and think of who to resupply. Probably the 7th Panzer, as it looks like they'll be getting into some intense combat over to this side. We might move up to engage the 31st Army with the hopes that the 22nd Army will keep retreating towards Moscow, so we can seize Kalinin. But of course, if they get too far towards Moscow, we will lose the ability to take them out, and that'll put 2 armies between us and Moscow. But right now, nothing actually stands between us and Moscow besides a forest and some trouble with supply. We'll seize Bryansk this turn too. It'll probably be one of our priorities. So 7th Panzer will most likely get those troops. And we have no longer have any prepared offensives. We'll definitely seize Bryansk this turn. I'll probably use the blitz that we get from that, which will likely happen if we manage to hit them at all, to pop up to Narashenko or Kastovichi, and move the Das Reich back into Sukhinichi, or even up into Kaluga, to set up a base for an offensive. Because if we can even get close enough to Moscow, they might start pulling people off the east, which will be able to break the deadlock that's existing at Kursk currently from the 40th Army and the 7th Guards Division. So we'll have some shifting for this pocket maintenance, basically. And that's a supply modifier. I'll just wait until they run out of even more people. What's that plus for? Oh, they're isolated, so they can't fire back. That's interesting. That'll make it easy to take them out. I think only the cavalry units can really fire. So yes, we'll probably try and blitz Bryansk, move the Kastovici, and then move that guy over here, which will free up the 9th Panzer Division to start making their push. We'll start being able to push these panzers forward past the pockets. Basically, Bryansk is what must happen. So we've more or less crushed that, though it does interfere with my plan today. I think it's because of that damned river crossing. And I think I'll leave a man in Bryansk until we've managed to finish off this pocket. So we'll bring the 17th Panzer up. Connect us to supply lines, bring the Das Reich over here. It's just the same thing. Belov's cavalry. Yeah, I figured they moved to Kalinin. It'll be very hard to break that supply deadlock. I think these men can only move. Can they? Oh. Yeah, you can move pretty far up the side here. I don't think we'll be taking Kalinin though. So let's go ahead and write that one off our objectives list. It's just stretching ourselves too far, too fast. We could bring the Das Reich over here to Skrnichi. Could also bring these guys up into there to bolster that area. Also, how did you guys get across that river? Look at that. So the only way across is that bridge. Ooh, almost hit the commit button there. I was just testing to see if that's a valid route. I thought it would be. What happens if we get these guys like this? Big chance they retreat with 2 casualties. It doesn't really do much for us. Down. We could try and rush the 6th Panzer up this way. Militia units in the rear. If we can force a retreat by them there, the 4th tank might be forced to move there. Yeah, we can probably sustain an offensive up into Mozahaski. Mozahaski. I don't know how to pronounce the damn thing. These guys can likely move up into Kaluga, which will give us an offensive springboard to take Tula and Podolsk. So, yeah, Vyazma will probably push forward. Cavalry will probably try and do something incredibly stupid. Part of me is hoping that they try and break through. Or they spread themselves out so we can crush a specific portion of their pocket. I'm not sure there's anywhere to go, so... We can move the 6th Panzer up here to try and hold that line. I'm tempted to try and make them force them to attack me. So we might need a burner turn, which is good for cleaning up. Or we can move these men up. If we need a burner, we'll move, no, those men will move in the mud. If we haven't cleaned up the pocket yet. The pocket will facilitate faster travel. So let's go ahead and try and clean up these guys in the Damn it, you shot everyone with the fucking horse. I figured. 5th Army tomorrow as well. Special episode, victory points. The same, except we have Bryansk for 2 turns. Supply, the pilots are still holding, this guy's supplied. But the Russians also have the supply through it. If we break the militia, we encircle it out and try to defend this river. We're starting to establish a front line along this line. We need to break it. Weather. Last turn of clear weather. 17th Panzer Division, 18th Panzer Division, 4. We have the Luftwaffe, and the Soviets are going to start being able to rebuild units that we've killed, and there's more history stuff. So, the 2nd Panzer, the 4th Panzer, the 11th and 18th Panzer. Oh, I was gonna move those guys. Oh well. It's kind of... Well, those panzers are gonna be stuck, but at least they're stuck in a good place. They're holding a pocket, they're holding Bryansk. 18th Panzer's in an okay position. This guy I was gonna move, probably through here up to there, but we have other people who can do that job. Well, now we just need to break this pocket and this pocket and break through here. So select a Soviet unit interdict. Probably the 5th Army again. If we can keep the 5th Army from moving, that'd be nice. So yeah, that'll leave it there. Panzer can't move, so it can't attack. We could try and strike out this way. And if we kill all of them, we could blitz up into Ruzha and Istra, which we could then back up with panzers, which would need to be countered by something fast, which I don't think they have over here. Yeah, we'll probably wind up doing that. Let's try and get the 20th. Of panzers. That's a lot of tanks. We're not going to win a slugging match over that. We need to start threatening the flanks of the tanks. Or at least have multiple positions to strike from. So we'll need to reorganize, assemble this area. So get the 6th Panzer up there. Make sure they're all supplied. Get the motorized brigades back to being workable, so they can get up here and hold our flanks for the push. That will allow us to hold / continue to kill the Russians. There's a new army being formed over there. So we'll want to push these guys out. I'm just going to try and bypass Kursk. If we just storm past Kursk, if they try and push down we'll just push up and around Kursk. Alright. It's a decent plan there. No one can hit us here hard enough. But we need to move the 3rd and the 19th up. So how do we want to do the move around Kursk or the move up to bracing positions for the offensive? We need to make 3 moves basically this turn. Like my tentative hold across the river. Yeah, they're defending that western passage into the city. So let's go ahead and do our build up. Right, build up there, because that drive into Moscow is important. Interesting. If we really wanted to, we could push troops up to here and they'd be forced to pull someone to defend there. Right, more new moves. The Kursk is kind of secondary. I want these troops. Probably our last turn. After this, the Soviet troops that we have encircled will start doing what are basically partisan raids as they straggle back, and they'll start really fucking with our supply lines. So we'll have to make that a priority, is cleaning them up soon. As for now, encircling Kursk should be a big goal of ours, and making a massive drive on Voronezh. In the east, because the east is open. If we can break out of this forested area over here, I've won the game on these victory points alone. Because Tula and Voronezh plus Bryansk gives you +3 each turn. If we can get those early, we can be home by Christmas. So let's go ahead and try and move past them. Because it'll be the last time we really get to move fast. Or are there any fast moves we have to make that rely on us moving quickly? Because everything else we can do during the mud. Like even moving past Kursk, we can do during the mud. We'll probably be setting up a frosty offensive though. These guys need to move up. This Panzer doesn't really have so he'll probably just wind up in the mud fighting out this pocket. Everywhere else looks like it's pretty much solidified. So looks like we're gonna be doing some cleaning. Right. That's because they're isolated. As long as you keep units in contact with them, they can't do their partisan raids. Oh, really? Okay, we have one more turn. So... This guy, I guess, can participate in this battle if we need a snap defense. The 5th Panzer will be our reserve. I'd like him to be here so he can reply to anywhere on here, but he can more or less get everywhere. 34th Corps can reply to anywhere. Sure. And we'll do our move past Kursk on the next turn. Alright. I'll see you all next video after this special one. Looks like we'll have an audio voice one. Bad time, everybody. So I'll see you all in the next video. Don't mind the mud. Thank you. See you guys.